That's okay. I did. All right. Good evening. The May 25th, 2021 Ways and Means Committee is now called to order, and I will call on Councilmember Mitchell to give us the invocation. Councilmember Mitchell.
Let's bow our heads. Right now, my heart is very heavy. And with all the shooting and the killing that's going around in our community. And I'm just asking God to come into our midst and come and help us along the way, because a lot of time we are lost and we need the guidance now. We are losing so many of even our young people. And I just been out this morning with another shooting until early this morning and lost another young person and another one is in the hospital. So we are asking God to come into our midst and give us some insight of some of the things we need to do to try to save some of our young people here. And like I always tell people, it's not about Black, not about white, it's about saving our young people from whatever's happening in the community and some of the old adults, because we don't know what they can end up being in the near future. So I'm asking God to come into our midst and asking the community to continue praying that we can find some solution to help our community in this state. Amen.
Amen. Thank you for that, Councilmember Mitchell. Approval of the minutes for May 11th, 2020.
So move.
It's been moved and properly seconded. Has it been seconded?
I'm seconding.
I didn't get the second.
I'll second it.
Okay. And properly seconded. Any discussion? If not, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
The ayes have it. Bids and purchases.
Move for approval of all items.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded for item 3. Any discussion? If not, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
The ayes have it. Item 4.
Move for approval.
It's been moved and properly seconded. Any discussion on item 4? All in favor?
Aye.
Say
Aye.
aye. Who was the second? Yes, Councilmember Del Chapo. Item number 5.
Move for approval.
Moved and properly seconded. Any discussion on item 5, stormwater management approval? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
The ayes have it. Item 6.
Move for approval.
Second.
Moved and properly seconded. Any discussion on item 6, stormwater management approval? If not, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
The ayes have it. Item 7.
Move for approval.
Moved and properly seconded. Any discussion on item 7? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
The ayes have it.
Mr. Chairman, could we take 8 through 11, the Office of Cultural Affairs?
Second.
Moved and properly seconded that we pull items 8 through 11 together. Any discussion? If not, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
The ayes have it. Item number 12,
Move for
stormwater
approval.
parks. Moved and properly seconded. That was seconded by Councilmember Del Chapo. Okay. Any discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. Item 13, Parks Capital Projects Approval to Daniel Island Recreation Center.
Move for second.
Second.
Moved and properly seconded. Any discussion on item 13? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
The ayes have it. Item 14,
Move for
Parks.
approval.
Second.
Moved and properly seconded. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
The ayes have it. Item 15, Parks Capital Projects Approval.
Second.
Moved and properly seconded. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
The ayes have it. Parks Capital Projects Approval of International African American Museum Management Fee.
Second.
Moved and properly seconded. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
The ayes have it. Traffic and Transportation, approval of the parking enforcement.
Move for approval.
Moved and properly seconded. Any discussion on item 17? If not, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
The ayes have it. Approval to submit an application to the National League of Cities for the Equitable Economic Mobility. Moved and properly seconded. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye. Aye. I'll call on the chairman of the Committee on Real Estate for his report. Councilman Shade.
Make sure we get the button on. The Committee on Real Estate met yesterday afternoon at 2:30. We had several items for discussion and recommend for approval. The first item was a request for authorization of the mayor to execute on behalf of the city the first amendment to the transfer agreement between the city and JJR Development. This is in regards to property located at 67 America Street. Giona Shaw Johnson is present with us. She gave us an explanation that this transfer agreement had sort of run out of time. This was an extension and to allow them to do their due diligence. This would be 6 houses, single-family houses developed on this property, and the committee recommended approval of item A unanimously. The second item was a request for the authorization for the mayor to execute the necessary documents for the purchase of number 3, 5, 7, and 9 Cunnington Avenue. This is a 1.45 acre located in the Neck area for $1.425 million. This also was to provide for the erection of 15 rental apartments and to relocate the navigation center at this property as well. And Giona is also present to answer any questions we may have concerning this. The committee recommended unanimously for approval of item B. Item C was the approval for a second amendment to the management agreement between the city and 22 West Edge. Matt Frolick is here. Is Matt with us? I don't see Matt present. That also was recommended for approval as well, unanimously. Item D was a request for authorization to mayor to execute a permanent easement between the city and the commissioners of public works. This was to address the wastewater tunnels shaft. This is the work done by our colleague, Councilmember Keith Waring, and the mayor on this shaft to be developed. And Matt Fountain is present to answer any questions we may have concerning this particular permanent easement. Then the last item was a request for the mayor to execute a purchase for 0 Canal Street. This was for the stormwater department used for long-term drainage protection of Lockwood Boulevard for $43,500. That also was approved unanimously as well. I would move items A, B, C, D, E for approval by this committee, Mr. Chairman.
Second.
Moved and properly seconded. Any discussion? Councilmember seeking.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'm just wondering, Mr. Chairman of Real Estate, how the price was arrived at for 0 Canal Street. How do we arrive at $43,500
That figure was based
for what is literally some marsh?
Yeah, that property, that value was based upon the county assessment of that property. That's what's on the tax records.
Any further questions? Discussions? Councilmember.
Thank you. I think I was just going to say to Councilmember Seekings, there was also a lot of discussion about that particular question and topic, Councilmember, and during due diligence, it's going to be worked out if that property has the value that the county assesses it at. So I think we can be skeptical at this point.
If you go there tonight, I challenge you to find some property over there.
Any further discussion or questions of the chairman? If not, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
The ayes have it. Is there anything else?
Yes, sir, Mr. Chairman.
Committee?
We went into executive session for 2 items.
F and G, okay.
Yeah, on F and G regarding the acquisition of property for public safety purposes, no action was taken on that item. And also negotiations regarding purchase of property with Greenbelt grant money, and no action was taken on that as well.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Is there anything else to come? Yes, Mayor.
Mr. Chairman, I just wanted to point out for the benefit of those attending the meeting tonight, because we go through this list of items on our agenda and we've all had the benefit of reading what's involved. But tonight, for example, we're approving the purchase of meals to be provided for our summer camps for children who participate. We are approving a drainage project in cooperation with the town of James Island. We really set a precedent that you might hear more about later in our Public Works Committee report to further and speeding up the construction of the low battery seawall by combining really phases 3 and 4 into one phase. And so we're proceeding with the engineering for that. And as was noted, one of our purchases of property was for a permanent home of the Navigation Center, which is so important in our city for providing services to those who are experiencing homelessness. So I know we go through this agenda kind of quickly, but there's actually some good stuff here. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Yeah, thanks, Mr. Mayor. I think we have to remind the audience of that every now and then. Is there anything else to come before this committee? If not, this meeting's adjourned.